Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL One Battlefield 4 Winter Cup number 4. We are now into our semi-finals. We've seen a little bit from both ends of the bracket, and so far, so good for Fnatic and Epsilon especially.
Yeah, I don't think there's too many surprises overall seeing that. However, we both noted that Fnatic aren't quite on their usual form, and Epsilon look very good. So if it keeps going that way, we're going to have a blistering final, but both have to make it past those semi-finals. So not quite clear sailing just yet, and there has to be an opponent for Epsilon. It is going to be Leisure. That's
right. So Leisure making their way through the bracket slowly and surely. I think on the other side of things, Penta and Infamous are still going at it, so we'll have to wait and see the result of that one. The first map's going to be Zavod here as well. And Leisure, we spoke about a couple of their players as well in our earlier games. And Atlas, sorry, we did see a couple Leisure players being in there. iFrozen was in there as well. One of the other ones actually escapes me now as well. So this is a little bit different. So Felix, Johannes and Banshing are still here. And Nosy and Hetty.
Banshing is someone I'm certainly aware of.
Yep.
So, yep. Good seeing those names still around.
And Nosy and Hetty as well sort of come into the fold here. Leisure, honestly, I mean, we saw them in their first proper landing appearance at Gamescom.
Yep.
And it was okay. It was okay. Probably still some work for them to be doing here, but they've done so fairly well so far. They're definitely well situated to be qualifying for our group stages as well. So we'll see them there. But this is not the first time they've gone up against Epsilon on Zavod. They did the same last week, if memory serves, and it was a close one, but Epsilon did edge it out in the end.
Yeah, not too surprising. I'm kind of interested if Banshing's still running that very classic gun he started to use towards the end of things. No, actually going to be switching up to the ACWR, so a little bit different to what I'm used to, but we'll see how that one works out for him. Quite unique as a player, but going to go for that lore. And this is a very common map to see it on. It was one that we originally saw it utilized for to kind of create the easier and faster routes through the map, especially on those previous spawns, which have now changed, but nice to see some of that common dynamic still having a feature. But it does look as though we are ready to go live, so we can start seeing how Leisure will shape up on the Russian side against Epsilon on the US side.
All right, so first things first, look at the split towards the bomb here. The entirety of Epsilon are going for it, really, and 3 players from Leisure are being split off now towards those factories here. We might see Epsilon actually go for a similar split eventually as well. So bomb, look at this wide push from Johannes as well. This is not super uncommon at all. I mean, he's got the armament for it as well. He can connect here, but he's trying to get up and close and then crest that hill.
Yeah, and Horek is kind of keeping this in mind. It seems he's kind of traversing the terrain on the other side of things as well. So looking from that higher ground towards the defilade that we know that Johannes was in, and it will be Horek to come out on top. So well aware of each other's styles.
Horek was actually the one to do the same thing on the other side for Epsilon last time we saw them on this map. So definitely a position he's familiar with now. The bomb being dropped by Jika for Horek because he'll be the last man to come in. And that way they can use the rest of Epsilon as a spearhead to push through and take control of these areas now. Banshee will be waiting in the subterranean part here, just next to some of those pallets. And already some kills are coming through as well. But the bomb in the hands of Horek has made its way through as Hexus has dispatched Johannes.
Yeah, Horek, well known for his play on this map, but going to have to look for maybe a tougher route through, and there is going to be some bite back here from Leisure. These guys aren't new to this. This is certainly something they can achieve some form of beginning on, but already Mayor can be doing the early work there, and slowly but surely building that bomb place through the map, but it's a tough one. There's lots of choke points, there's a lot of grind going here, and Mayor going to follow up perfectly towards Banshee.
Now, we speak about Horek sort of being good on this map, but it is often said that this is my X map. This is where he really gets the shine. He's always used very effectively by Epsilon as a frontliner, a guy really getting the frags down and doing some damage. And you can see now as well, Horek with the bomb. Mike is splitting himself out wide, and he'll be able to catch the guys from Leisure as they try and make their way across here. As the bomb will go down, and this is going to be incredibly difficult to defend as well up on that C side.
Oh, and look at Meg's positioning here. He's perfectly watching that cross. Whether or not he gets the kills is beside the point. He's going to get these spots out and kind of call when trouble is coming and where they're coming from. It does seem as though they're mostly focused towards the north, so it will be Horek to receive the brunt of it, but Mayek also catching one on the cross there, just clipping them in the heels and allowing Jika to do the damage towards the end. This is a very tough site to retake, and Horek already starting to go looking. Classically, back in the days, Horek was that player who used to go on the rotates a hell of a lot, but you're seeing that prowess again and again as Banshing is closing in. He's going to get the kill towards Hunter, so maybe keeping things interesting here. You're going to see the collapse coming in from Epsilon. They need to get back in this, and you're seeing Horek in the perfect spot. Look at this position. He's going to clear out that window, peeking towards the site, see if anyone's there, but it is going to be cleaned up on the site itself. Nice work from Hexus coming in with that AEK, and there we go. That is the first bit of work done. Epsilon looking formidable.
This is troll as heck. Like, the fact is, this is why it's so hard to defend. You just shoot someone underneath need
also,
this machinery.
I've got to show you. If you go outside here, go backwards from where you are. If you hop up onto the tanks just in front of you there, you can see through those windows. You can jump up on the turret, and you also get the same view. This is something that Winghaven actually did back in the day when he was in Fnatic and was one of the pioneers of that spot, and you're still seeing it utilized today in this game mode, and that's just wonderful to see that sort of history here. However, that bomb is reset, so we're back to the start, but Leisure need to get this one going because they can't let this slip right now.
Felix is yet to get a frag in this game as well, and Banshee is just going to be completely shut down as Epsilon stamp their dominance over this southern part of the map. Yet again, Hunter leaves it back, and Hexus will be the man to bring the bomb up. Jika loves to work around these tanks. He has a very little he's a cheeky little spot that he likes to use.
Cheese player.
Well, honestly, he's always the guy that's lurking, always the guy in the background, always the guy sort of getting the frags from behind.
There is a player there as well with him, so we could see how this one goes down. Felix is just being very cautious as well. He knows that this player is close by, and they're so close to each other. Look at this, kind of the turret position on the turret itself, and negating each other out. And it's such a slow, cautious battle as we see the bomb is in the hands of Hexus, but behind enemy lines, you're going to see Felix actually come out on top there.
Fortune does not always favour the brave there, and Jika put himself in a compromising position, pouring across the top of that tank, and Felix will sit back now as well. He has obviously given away his position, but the bomb, again, in the hands of Epsilon right now. And they need to push north, unfortunately. There's no real other option at the moment. They've taken that easier, as you wangle the fingers, bomb side to hit towards. And they've got to now go for a little bit harder. So bigger extensions required from them now as Hetty going to be coming around from the side. Try and get a little bit of flank play here. He does know there's a player there. That was a great little flick to the head of Hunter. And he's picked him up almost straight away. And Hexus is there. He does get the revive on his teammate at least, but he's getting put under a lot of pressure by Banshee.
And normally any team set up in this sort of spot would have the advantage, but we're seeing a real good play coming out from Leisure, who've turned this one around. Heta has picked up the bomb, so he can start building off the back of it. Mayek and Hunter, though, cleaning up the rest of his team, only leaving Banshee and Heta here to try and keep hold of this. But Heta is going to try and make a mad dash, it seems. He's going to try and put all those eggs in one basket and do something with it, because they're looking maybe towards that A site, but already Hex is going to be keeping that cross in mind. He's going to be on spotting this one out if they do go for it, and maybe just play for the retake here.
Yeah, why not? I mean, we may well see a plant down. Hexus doesn't really have teammates to back him up at this stage and not spawning in, but Hetty also not going for the plant straight away. Now, it's one thing to sit amongst these tanks, but you are revealed to the enemy team because you have the bomb in hand, so it's not exactly a super ninja spot for him, as Mayak does take down Banshee there as well. He will go down in response, but you can see the Epsilon are starting to converge over on this tank area. Jika wants to close the gap here and get up close to Pertzel, and he will do that as well. There goes Hetty. He goes down. He was waiting for reinforcements, but they never came.
And Jika's going to go for it. Why not? South to east, he can make a clear-cut run of this one. If they send Hexus towards the north to make almost a bait play, be like, hey, look, we've got most of our people here. But then, here we go. We're going to see the switch. He knows that these guys are making this route. They're going to keep tabs on it. B's fairly close by. A doesn't look so possible currently. But Leisure set up well. And Epsilon looking for the path in, getting their spots down, making sure they find them. Heta just going to be lurking around that doorway. And obviously needs to be on point here. It looks like Epsilon are taking the lower route of things. Hunter's still up top. But slowly but surely, Epsilon are just trying to find out the information.
They're looking for an opening here. That's all they're trying to do. Soften up Leisure before they actually make their push and go for the kill here. And that's why the bomb's being kept in such a passive position here. So, it's no harm done if Hexus were to go down. He's really just trying to run interference right now. Try and poke a hole in the defensive net. There's a lot of holes in the net. And the wall of Leisure. That backfired on me there. But nice work by Felix. Did a quick double. Hetty now as well able to push up over towards Jika, who's keeping back.
And it's making Epsilon have to make the move here. You can see already Jika is starting to edge forward down on that southern side, heading out towards the east, but I think Felix kind of knows what's up here. He's kind of trying to keep eyes on this, but while this happens, look where Jika is. He's making a mad dash towards B. He might be able to get there pretty damn well. Johannes is going to go up towards the north, maybe try and get a spot towards it, because Jika, he can go solo right now. I don't think he knows that, but he certainly can. Heading across, trying to take the fight inwards, but already the respawns have come in. He's going to be getting the revive down as well. Jika doing great support play, and he knows he's the one waiting in the back line. They're going to spot him out. The bomb is loose. The cleanup crew came through, even if it's the exchange. The defending side, currently of Leisure, arguably wants to pick the bomb back up.
Now it's not a long walk towards B for them here, and Epsilon already trying to shore up that little route of approach, you could say, by putting players in this position now, and it's going to be good work by Hexus to take down Banshee, and the bomb is still held.
It's going down, though.
There it is.
Oh. It was going down, should I say, talking past tense when it comes to Epsilon like that. But Leisure, down to only one man. Felix, they're not really in a position to do much. He's trying to play a bit of a lurking role, but by this point, he's kind of screwed out of this one. They have to depend on the retake, and the players coming back in on the respawn, and already, look at this brilliant play. Just expecting those respawns to come in. Whether or not they get the kills is beyond the point. It's the fact that they can set up Mayak to get that bomb planted, which he's doing perfectly right now. Bomb does get denied, though. Banshee's Law is going to be the one to connect that. but no one there willing to take up the mantle again. Mayek's going to be taken down, but nice little bit of recovery work coming in from Hunter, but the fire's coming through thick and fast. This is not going to be a safe plant here. Already bomb does get planted, but this is certainly not secure.
No, bomb down. I mean, Banshee now finding himself a little bit on his own. There's a couple spawns coming in, and Felix doing great work to try and keep Epsilon quiet on this one, but they do still have a good position. Jika's going to get jumped on by 4 players. That's the commitment to getting rid of Jika. That's how important that position is, and Epsilon have been able to get the 2v1 situation here and wait for some spawns in. They're going to start flooding onto this one now. As Horik again just going to get on the other side of this little train. Oh dear, he had a great opportunity there. He's going to fluff and he gets pushed onto as well. That's unfortunate. Hetty and Felix doing work, and this should be a defuse.
Yeah, the defuse is coming in. That's Johannes doing that. I don't think anyone there really can contest this. Jika's alive, and you can see the incendiary going down. It's burning Johannes alive. He's going to get off the bomb, but no, he did defuse it just in the end. He's going to be picking that one back up now, and with all the will and want in the world, it didn't seem to pay out in the end for Jika when he threw that incendiary down. Johannes now going to be looking towards C, where he could be able to get a pretty safe plant on, at least for the next couple of seconds, before Epsilon get back into place.
This is Zavod for you. It's not a long trip between these bomb sites. We can so easily see things flipped on their head. 1 minute and 15 seconds left in this one here, and Epsilon are being shut down by Leisure. A lot of pressure. They're doing really, really well in terms of kills as well. 44 to 37. Very similar story on the side of Epsilon, and that should tell you the whole story in terms of how close these two teams have been. But there's Johannes to get the plant down. He's going to move up here. Actually going to bring himself into Hunter. Hunter's crosshairs. Jika was there as well, but he gets taken down. And Epsilon actually struggling to get some momentum here.
Yeah, and bearing in mind, up in the northern side as well, we're going to have a Nosy already set up in play, something we've seen, Jika doing on a regular basis. Spots out 1, spots out 2. He should have played that much more passively towards the end, found cover a little earlier, because that's now opened up a possibility towards C. But still, that site is dominated by Leisure players, 3 of them standing rather vigilant, and that time across just traversing all of this sort of distance is going to be the factor between Epsilon here. They are closing in, though. Let's see if Johannes can do anything. He's the one closest to it. Waiting patiently, he knows they're going to be walking around this corner ever so soon, and here we go. Does have the drop, but doesn't get the shot. Hexus is there, but that's a little too late in the day, even though the defuse was very, very close by. It doesn't matter. Jika went down, and that's 1 on the board for Leisure.
Yeah, they've done it here just before half-time as well, and this is Epsilon, honestly, last week especially, their first halves were a grind. They were fairly even, they weren't all that impressive, and they really started to switch on towards the second, so we'll have to see if that's a trend that is observable and something we're going to see after this one here. But nice work by Johannes there to plant that one down. He stayed alive for a heck of a long time, stayed passive. He did get picked up in the end, but Epsilon, there wasn't a lot they could do there.
Well, considering he was the player who initially denied that bomb plant that was in place, picked up the bomb and then ran with it, really nicely done by him. And on the board, Mayek, outstanding play, 18 to 7, but it doesn't matter. Exactly. At this point, it doesn't necessarily matter, though, because we saw, Johannes, 11 to 10, not such an impressive score, doing just as well.
Exactly. It's about positional play as well, more than anything, of course, in this game type. Getting frags is all well and good. In fact, in a team context, though, as well, they were very even. It was about 44 to 37 at one point for both sides. And after that bomb sort of getting blown up as well, I don't think it would have changed too much. So credit to Leisure really putting it to Epsilon right now.
I'm very impressed. At the start, it looked very dominant for Epsilon, but it did seem as though the swing came in. And Leisure were able to actually find a lot of strength in that. They did recover well after that first kind of plant came in and the first kind of point towards Epsilon was put on the board. But off the back of that, Leisure now looking a little bit more dangerous, looking like they can actually compete. I just want to see if now Epsilon fall into common practice and go back to that dominating form.
That's right. I mean, they have a chance to now, of course. We're going to see our second half come up momentarily, of course. Wait until we get the maps right here, of course.
We're just looking at Locker right now, which is actually going to be the second map when we get there, but not right now. We've only got 1 half down. And then if required, I think it's Paracel Storm to close us. You can just hear the kind of Locker sounds in the background because I'm not going to lean over that way where my arm disappears to and turn it down. So yeah, we'll just switch that one up and get these guys back on the right side of things. But yeah, so far 1-0 to Mayak. Just trying to do the 1-0 Epsilon, please. It's just like, hold on. Not quite there yet, Mayak. No. Not quite. But no, I'm very impressed with Leisure. Their recovery was great. They weren't maybe as standardized as Epsilon. Epsilon looked a little more robust in their positionings, constantly looking for those brilliant setups. But you can't always expect to get the perfect setup, and I think that was the downfall a little towards the end. Then Epsilon were looking for these kind of set plays, which they weren't quite achieving because players from Leisure were picking up the kills then and denying some of those kind of factors. But still, As said, we are just waiting on the first map to come back around and we can get this one started up. But yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed with what we've seen so far.
The thing about having a set player, something like that, is that it relies on often ideal circumstances.
Yeah, and you don't always get them. That's the big fact here, especially on a map like Zavod. You saw, well, this was kind of the French Revolution of Zavod back in the day. It's kind of being summarized here, I guess you could say. Kind of the way they played it out. So everyone had these very set plays. You know, there's the favoured sites. These were your rotate routes. This was how it worked out. And then you had players like maybe Horek doing these crazy rotates around the flank, trying to pick up the flags on the back spawn, and such and so forth. That was a different game mode. However, it's good to see the kind of difference in kind of team personalities. You'll get teams that are very standardized. They like their standard setups. They like to play it to the kind of textbook, whereas others have a little more room for adaptation. It seems as though Leisure has a touch more room for adapting on the fly. Now, whether or not that will apply throughout this game, or just in that half, we're yet to see. But it does seem as though we are getting ready to go back into Zavod, so at least we're going back on track.
That's right. I think it was more Epsilon's failure in that just towards the end of that half, and not less, I guess, Leisure's success, but they capitalised on mistakes that were being made there as well. Bomb was dropped sort of towards this side of the map, and we obviously saw the transition there straight away. Of course, we do know that Epsilon were trying to hit this bomb site quite heavily, and
yeah, they were.
Remember, Jika standing up here, 4 players were invested into getting rid of him, and from there they swept down on towards the site. The incendiary wasn't enough, as you said, it was close. There was a health pack involved there. I'm pretty sure one of the players was down low. But the thing is here, going from that side, of course, to the other one where it finished off, there's a train on your left side. So it's hard to hit you as you're sort of crossing that bit. So, I mean, Johannes was able to get the bomb down really quickly as well and get it done. It's kind of like Heinen as well, because there's a lot. These bomb sites are close together, laterally speaking. You can always turn things on their head like that.
Yeah, so we can go back in game as the sides are now right, and we should be able to get started.
Right, this is it here, of course. This is the train line. So, I mean, yeah, Mayak, we saw he had his own sort of woes as well, trying to fire over the train line just here, where you sort of missed that player. But as you see, you can quite easily make this transition here as well, by and large, especially when a team's sort of been wiped. Get the bomb down, and we saw Johannes actually sat himself here. So he was able to spot out a lot of the stuff here, a push through from this direction as well. And Enosi was already set up to receive. He was a little bit aggressive before, but he still managed to at least get the spots on those players that were pushing out towards him. And all the rest, as they say, is history. And the second half is just around the corner here.
Yeah, it is. It's very close by. These teams are just getting themselves ready, getting everything sorted out, making sure they're prepared for this one, and also just loading into the server. So, shouldn't be too long, but yeah, I'm very excited to see if Leisure can kind of repeat this performance. Welcome to try and go through Windows in Battlefield. It doesn't work. I'm going for a bit of evolution.
I can't go down there either. That's kind of sad.
Z or X? X.
Oh, it's X on the keyboard.
Come on, come on, you can do it. No.
No.
How are you failing at this? Can I try? Let me try.
Can't do it.
No, I think you're just rubbish.
Can't do it, Lauren. I tried before.
Shut up. It's. Why would you clip that? Battlefield, please, come on.
See.
Why'd you do this? I was all excited. Rip the dream. Anyway, we are getting this one up and underway soon, so we can stop looking around the map. Well, I say that. I like looking around the map. Have you ever played the game of like trying to not touch anything? Like it was, especially in Counter-Strike, I like to kind of fly around the map, not touching.
I did it in Call of Duty a lot, actually.
Yeah,
when I was casting,
I
was doing like 7-hour casts of like random Call of Duty stuff, and I would just zoom around the map.
Alrighty, guys, it's time to get ready. Though Leisure going to be starting out on the US side. The Russian side is going to be Epsilon, and we are live into this. It is the second half here in the first map. Well, I guess it's almost the semi-final. So both these teams certainly warranting this, and we are once again seeing the same beginning from Johannes.
Yeah, Epsilon again split off 2 this time, actually, only towards this one. Johannes is actually able to get himself a bit of higher ground here. And we'll see what he can make of this one. He's looking for Horek again. Horek didn't actually go that wide this time. In fact, he's actually on the other side of the map here. So it's going to be Jika going up against Johannes in this case. As Felix does take down Horek. It's back and forth over towards these factories here, but I do want to see who gets the better of this particular engagement here while the battle rages in the background, because obviously the bomb is kind of essential to winning in this game mode.
See, I almost expect Johannes to win this. He did have the higher ground, he was set there, and he does win out that 1v1. But whether or not he can transition off the back of that is another factor. He does have Banshee and Leisure not too far away, just towards a kind of tip of the buildings, as they are going to be surrounding themselves there. And Epsilon are digging in deep. They don't want to give up that lower route, nor the building side of things. And already Banshee going to find Mayek there. Felix going to follow up, and this is looking very much like Leisure are getting off to the perfect start.
It is a great start for them. They're getting so many kills right now. And
how is Horek here, though?
Well, I don't know. He's just waiting. He's just gobbling. Yeah.
Gobbling.
Goblin King. Goblining.
Goblin
yeah.
King. Well, he does get a kill off the back of it. Whether or not he can make this particularly useful is a different matter, because already that bomb is starting to head through towards C, but Hunter has already met them on the door, and it is going to be Inozi who's left kind of standing in this one. The last man in the squad as well, bearing in mind.
Oh my god.
And Epsilon grinding down the opposition.
Yeah, already, that turned around so quickly. Yeah. Epsilon got 2 or 3 kills, and bam, the bomb was dropped in neutral territory, and it's a very short walk to either of those MCOMs to get that one down. And now Hunter is looking for more. He's asking for more at least, but will he find it? That's the question. A few nades in his direction. He's going to use some machinery for cover and just try and hold here. There's a spot coming out here, and he does well. He gets one. Hetty did take down Jika. I don't think he realized that he tried to go for the revive, but there was already an enemy there ready to take him out.
Yeah, now it's down to Horik and Mayek to pick up the pieces. Mayek's going to get one. He spots out the second. Can't follow up. Denied by Phalanx, and already that bomb will surely be defused and put back into the favor of Leisure.
Not quite yet, anyway. They're setting up battle lines, I think, at least. They're not actually trying to defuse it yet. Now, NOC will go back.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, guys, can you not hear that? Like, that's quite risky, to be fair. If they lost down those exchanges, but they didn't. That's the main point. It was risky play, but if you're playing well, if you're going to get these kills, if you're confident in that, then go for it. But I've got to say, already Phalanx is having an outstanding beginning to this. 7-2 overall, and they've been important kills, bearing in mind. So keeping it back in the favor of Leisure, keeping them in this game. The bomb is going to be planted down on towards the site. Against Epsilon, that is. But you can see those positions on top of the tanks coming back in, but didn't do the job this time. Now Hunter has to go in the law.
Honestly, Leisure are playing better than Epsilon are right now as well. Not just kill-wise as well, you can see that for yourself, but positionally as well. Epsilon sort of were able to capitalize on something earlier on and get a bomb plant, but it was a feeble defense of that one at best. And look at this as well. Look at Hexus and Horik being very, very careful about the way they go about this. Great positioning there, actually. Oh, sorry, from one of those players, banishing it was, I think, just to stop them down. There goes the frag, and that's an interesting...
Ragdoll?
Yeah, ragdoll. There it is.
Just went flying in the end. But yeah, the defuse should be coming in. Bomb has been dropped. And Epsilon, as you said, struggling a little bit. Not really being as potent as before. Heta could be trying to meet them on the flank there on the northern side up by C, but here's Banshing. Banshing
blew himself up with a
lore. He got frustrated after that nade went off, and he's a little sad about it all, so he thought he'd go for himself. But bomb is planted.
Banshing's law, everything has an equal and opposite reaction. So you blow him up, you blow yourself up. Thank you. Banshing's second law. I like that one.
That's so nerdy, it's unreal.
I like it. All right, Nosy now trying to get on towards that bomb and do something about this. He knows there's a bit of housework to be done at least here.
Who's around the back, though? There was one player behind them both, and that will be the one, the only Horik, going on the flank, being true to character, picking up both of the main threats to that B plant. We're going to see the cleanup coming out from Hunter as well. So 2 players picking up the 2-piece, getting the plant in, and they're so safe in this. They know that. They're spreading out, waiting for those respawns, going to try and get those spots, look for that bomb to get a second plant in.
The squad wipe is real right now, and Leisure have no chance here. I mean, bomb is going to go off, and quite easily as well. Look, we're at Leisure. They're not even going to bother going for this one here as well. They are setting up again for the bomb. So they understood straight away. No point. There was no chance for them in that one. And now we're going to see a bit of the hillside fights yet again as we transition from here, from getting the bomb. And Epsilon have woken up. The Dragon is awake, and they are actually getting the frags back now, 31-24. So this last 2 minutes has been very, very good for them. Let's see if they can get another MCOM detonation here and close this one out. Or will Leisure get one of their own and keep it interesting?
Yeah, it's a little different to see Epsilon slowly waking up. They seem to be operating on full kind of premise at the start of today, but now finding a little bit of form a little later into this half. But then again, Leisure are a greater opponent than we saw previously, but it looks like Epsilon going to play this one safe. They want to take control of the inner buildings, then build towards the outside. Horik going to be doing the flanking job that he does best. And I've got to say, Leisure are nicely set up. They're holding kind of the outskirts, holding the push-outs, and Horik going to be having to work for this, but he does find a nosy pressure coming in from the backside, going to drop down the mid pack, go in for the challenge, doesn't get it. And that's going to be a nice little bit of a save towards A. He
should have slowed up a bit and actually given himself a bit more healing from that med pack. Just a bit aggressive, but still Epsilon have possession of the bomber. At least they're in the vicinity here. But one quick pickup here for Leisure will mean a C plant. And we can see Jika and Mayak are almost prepared for that eventuality. He goes prone. He's going to be looking under these machinery, and he will see players.
Even if he just cues them, even if he just spots them out, it'll be perfect. That's all you need to do. And then allow the likes of Jika and Mayak to come back in on the flank and then pick it up. And that bomb is starting to close around the side. And look at this, just back and forward. This is unbelievable.
There's a cheeky spot here for Jika, actually. He might go for a plant here, or just wait for this team to join. A bit of body block there, cheeky. B plant, if it will be one. Oh, no, look at that. It was a player right there. Hetty was in position right now. Horik will be able to respond there. Epsilon have to keep the wits about them here. They're out in the open, and they need to at least keep themselves alive. And Horik with the bomb going back inside.
Yeah, and if they died in that position, that would have been an easy plant coming in for Leisure, but luckily for Leisure, they've been getting a couple of kills here and there, but they have been wiped down. This can give Horik the running chance. He's been trying to close down. Players are splintering off behind him to try and slow them down.
Oh,
and look at this, Horik is on the run. He's on the move. He's got the chance towards A. Whether or not they can set up is a different matter, but we're going to see if Heta can maybe stop this one. Well, that smoke's a little too thick.
Mayax just absolutely slapped him there with that shot, and now up towards the back. It's Enosi amongst the tanks here. Hasn't seen anything. No spotting done already. So Leisure, he's going in blind. It's such a hard situation when you give him Epsilon so much time to spread out here. But Banshing straight towards the bomb. He's going to go for the defuse here. Ninja as is not going to be enough though, as Mike takes him down, and Epsilon now they're alerted to the position of Leisure over on these bomb sites. What can be done here to protect them? Not a lot here. Not a lot. Smoke goes up. Enosi trying to get his defuse down, but here comes the frag.
Nades are raining in. That's Hexus's one. That's going to connect. One more player. Make it two. We've got Banshing on the side, but time is going to be running out. Banshing is half HP. The fire's coming through. Banshing is on it again. He goes down. Mayak saves the day, and no one is going to stop that plant. Epsilon spamming to victory in the end.
All right. Well, honestly, opportunities for Leisure there as well. You've got to be frustrated about that with such a strong first half as well. But the second half, after a good start, again, we did say it looks like Leisure are playing better here.
Yeah.
Epsilon found their footing, they found their game plan, and they found the win.
Yeah, they really did. That setup was a little bit by the seams of their pants at the end, literally just throwing everything they had to stop that defuse. And Banshing, he got close. There was a lot of close moments in that. Leisure, a little slow to pick up in towards that second half, a little bit, if I'm honest. The first half, they were far more dominant. So I'm hoping they can find a little bit more of that magic in the second map, which is Locker. So yeah, I'm not sure how this one will pay out. I don't think we're going to see the same sort of gameplay. But Epsilon classically were never huge on Locker. This was more your Fnatic and French side kind of stronghold. But maybe these lineup changes will pay up and will pay out with some really talented plays.
I still don't think they're necessarily big on Locker, actually. I mean, the veto process, we don't really know what could have happened there as well. Often, Epsilon even getting Golmud banned away from them a lot, actually, as well.
Golmud Railway was their classic one. I'm trying to remember who their player was. He used to set up with the saw, I think it was. You know, the MG you can place down. I'm trying to throw my mind back. Someone in chat, please help me out, because I'm completely blanking on this, or just tweet at me, at They Call Me Pansy and Uber Shouts, because I'm trying to think, it was Asterix? I think it was Asterix. He used to set up and set up on the very far back side of things and just mow people down, get the spots out perfectly. So it's something they were classically good at, and it's nice to see that transfer through, but I believe we can go into the map.
Yep. Operation Locker it's going to be, and you guys should be more than familiar with this beauty by now, of course.
I'm used to half of it.
Yeah, I know. Well,
maybe less than half.
Changed a bit now, of course. This
I'm
is
used to maybe A, B, and C. So if you just use the Russian A, B, and C side, then I'm good. You go looking at what the US has to defend. No.
Well, let's have a look here as well.
Take me on the magical journey of a prison.
Well, first of all, these choke points are really important now, much more so, because the bomb spawns in this middle room, and you've got to get it through here, right? Or alternatively, you can drop down to the underside there, and there's actually a tunnel underneath. I'll show you. But pushing through, choke point, choke point, choke point, choke point, open room, choke point. So this is where one of the bomb sites is, near the metal detectors. So you're working your way towards that one as well. So basically, a lot of teams often find themselves caught up fighting around this middle room and then transition towards the underside. So, we do see things can stall out a little bit. This is the underside. So again, that looks like a choke point to me, doesn't it?
Yep.
It's a choke point.
So choke point, choke point,
choke point.
choke point.
There's a choke point here as well. Yep.
So several of those.
Yeah, a heck of a lot. So that's just the way this map is, so teams often have to sort of push against that for extended periods of time, and from there they have to.
Our favourite view.
I like this one.
Yeah, was this for Alex before?
It's very zen. It just relaxes me. Listen.
Let's just turn it up.
Listen.
Hold on, guys.
Listen. You are now entering a higher state of consciousness. Anything you set your mind to is possible.
Wow, getting zen with Uber Shouts. Beautiful.
Anyway, so obviously on the other side of the map, which is what we're familiar with from Domination, that hasn't changed at all. But the features that used to be important on this side of the map are now not so important, I guess you could say. Obviously, you see always they're fighting around here and on the stairways. There's a bomb down here as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. The thing is that Leisure's gunplay has been on par with Epsilon for the most part. So I feel like breaking through those choke points is going to take a little bit more effort than maybe Epsilon are used to from, well, they're not a lower team, but than Epsilon are maybe ready to do. So Epsilon have to be backing themselves here as well, using this this middle level and, of course, the bottom level. And, again, you can use the outside. This staircase is obviously very important as well, as always, a central point. And we do see the 1v1 where each team will push a player on the outside here and try and get them into, involved in the fight.
To be fair, I was just reading a little bit of flame in chat. You know.
Should I press H or not?
Nah, it's just I called Hexus the new too easy, so it's alright. But anyway, we are live into this one. The Russian side is going to be Epsilon, and the one US side is going to be Leisure. And let's see if there's maybe a little bit of bite to the bark that's going down so far, as these guys are going to be battling out in that kind of central reserve, that main area, that control room within this delightful prison. As already we're seeing Leisure closing in, as are Epsilon.
All right, so there's the ball up in the corner here. So teams will be fighting over this as well. And so it's always like a 3-2 split between top and bottom sometimes with two players outside. So this first few minutes is going to be really chaotic. It's about teams getting the advantage, sort of grinding it out, a war of attrition in the middle of the map, as it were. Then they can pick up the bomb, and then to the enemy team is forced back, back and back, further back. Jika actually getting aggressive here, trying to already lay some groundwork for Epsilon, but maybe getting a bit ahead of himself.
Yeah, just a touch. And I feel this is just going to be them slamming their heads into each other for a little while, and we can kind of just enjoy that factor. It's all about the kills at the moment. They will be starting seeing a team win out overall. That's going to be Epsilon. They've broken through the most. They can start heading through the choke point, and A is looking a little vulnerable. You can see Head to try and back away, get to a better position to play retake, so the rest of his team can kind of head through. But this is literally a choke point if I've ever seen one. You've got players towards the north and south, and Nosey's going to be up there. Towards the south, a 3-man split. The bomb could go down to some degree, but it's certainly not going to be easy.
No, that's right. I mean, Epsilon, to their credit, they killed 4 of the Leisure players as well. Yeah. So they got to bypass that first tunnel that's so hard to push through. But now there's another challenge here as well. It's like it's a bunch of hurdles, I guess, they have to face. That is Banshing's Law at its finest there. And now you can see Jika, he's on the underside here as well. So he actually might retreat back towards the center of the map. Yeah, he's trying to keep in step here with Banshing, who's already running. And he'll try and defend against this as well. We do see Mayak has been left back on purpose. And we'll have to see, Epsilon defend with 4. Yeah,
this is a curious back and forward. Nice little angle for Jika. Not going to be able to hit much with that, though, as it does seem as though the Leisure side aren't going to be pushing through in this one. Hexus is available, as is Horek, but they're going to be clashing heads very, very soon. The vertical advantage not really working out, and the bomb is now recovered by Epsilon. And they're looking for a safer route through.
Jika considering whether he should go for a revive here, or he does know there's a couple of Leisure players, but he can bypass them completely.
Oh, he's going.
2 Leisure players caught back. I mean, there's 3 spawning in, but there's a spawn in on towards Jika as well. There's 2 players, so they have a 3v3, at least in the next few seconds.
Yeah, Mayak even slowed down the players around the backside, but it looks like Jika's taking the danger route. There's 2 players ahead. He takes down Phalanx, goes for the follow-up, gets it, and Nosy falls. And now C is looking vulnerable on the cross, though. Jika doing damage. This is what we see. Banshing is going to have to go hero mode, switching up to the pistol. He does get it, but the bomb slipped through. That's in the hands of Jika. He's not stopped running this game, and they've got the bomb down. Arguably one of the harder sides. That's going to be C planted. Jika already getting ready for the challenge on the outside. He'll get made the better of, but still, that bomb is planted, and the sirens are wailing.
That's right. So players spawning back in now for Leisure. This is a good spot, though. Maya can hold around the corner and wait for the push of Nosy. We'll be able to take him down with minimal effort here. And Hetty, he's hanging on there as Mike is the last man in his squad. He's going to get pushed onto, but there come the spawns almost simultaneously. So many players appearing in 1 second for Epsilon, and they can hold this now with sheer weight of numbers.
Johannes was the only man alive. He's going to be found. The respawns are coming through, but Johannes does at least fight back a touch, but this is down to just that small corridor of play, and Jika's going to be surrounded on both fronts. He's got play from the back coming in. Phalanx is there, but the defuse is going to come out. Epsilon surely can't stop this, and Nosy is on the bomb. Hexus doing everything he can, and Nosy, he gets denied, and there is the final explosion coming through, and Nosy was on 1 point of health towards the end. It was just enough for Epsilon.
It is so hard to follow people when they keep dying as well. I'm just clicking like frantically, trying to get onto one of those players.
All about that free cam, man. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
But good luck in the corridors.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so Bob will spawn back towards the middle of the map again, and here 2 players from each team have been put towards the outside. They want to control that staircase. It gives them a great vantage point over that middle room, and Mayak starting things off nicely. Will he be expecting the second player to come towards him there? Well, luckily, he's been given that warning now. He'll be throwing the frag over the top there, trying to keep him quiet, and he will actually push up. Aggressiveness is always part of Mayak's loadout, I guess you could say, and he will now take control of this window. So much vision given to him now, and Epsilon have this middle room.
Now, don't get me wrong, he probably doesn't have the ideal gun to utilize it, but still, even the spots, the setup, getting himself prepared by the rest of his team, and they're going to hold them back as long as possible as the rest will begin to build up. Now, kills slightly in favor to Epsilon, but not by much. And you can see it's more about controlling this map. And look at this play coming through from Mayak. He's gone the long route, but there's a player just behind him. I think that's Banshee who's going to spot this out. But Mayak taking the long route here, kind of being lost in the maze, and you're going to see the return from Phalanx having to leave his position, though, which could become a threat. Bottom in the hands of Hexus, we're seeing Heta looking for the challenge.
That's right, he's on those stairs here. He's on a very important point of the map. I don't know, he might just try and get some verticality on towards this one. Cheeky little nade. Don't really know what that might fall back towards him there. That could be awkward. No, that's okay. He doesn't kill himself at least, so that's something. And he's going to go down though to Mike there. A little bit of attempt at innovation, not really working out. And OC here is on the lower levels, and he wants to sort of back up Hetty as well. Might even go for a revive, but he knows the enemy is close.
Yeah, it's going to be a curious choice. And actually went for the kill there. Hexus does go down. The bomb is dropped. He doesn't go for the instant recovery. Tries to utilize the high ground here as well. Going to be going for that dominance. Nice. Great shot towards Mayak. Just using literally that vertical advantage, shooting down towards the top of the hitbox, and you'll always come out on top. So we're going to be seeing Inozi running that one back, and Leisure now back in control here. But limited amounts of time, and already Epsilon do have reinforcements towards the A side, or is the AM com, should I say. But whether or not they can really hold this is a different matter. We've seen them being a little weaker at this. Not much, don't get me wrong, but I'm very interested to see now how Leisure kind of theorize how they want to do this, because Epsilon are actually pushing through the very close choke point there. May are going to get picked up into that one, and if they keep doing this, if Epsilon keep feeding them kills, there'll be an opportunity available. But
this is the choke point, this is what I'm saying. So back and forth, jockeying a lot, usually one player designated from each team to try and go 1v1 and see if he can get a cheeky angle on that long turret, but a tunnel. But there's a smoke up. This might even force a rotation towards the lower levels here, and Inosi actually might go for the outside as well. He's got the bomb in hand. Maybe just a safer position for him now. You can see smoke to one tunnel, to an incendiary to the bottom one as well, and Leisure are being denied access to Epsilon's side of the map.
And I like this. Mayek's starting to predict it as well, saying, okay, if they ground out here for a while, we can leave 4 players split towards that side. I can just sit here real safe. He'll literally just sit here on the backside, see if they try and do anything. And it looks as though they are considering it. So if he's patient, he's going to get 2 players heading his way. Bomb in hand. Who's he got to take down here? There's already Nosy, but Johannes is being gifted as kind of the tasty bait. And I can imagine Hexus is going to be baited out. They'll maybe just use Hexus as the bait here for Epsilon and say, okay, if we get a kill here, you can commit, but it's not the main plan already. And Ozzy is putting his attention towards the main side, but they're going to be pushed. The pressure was coming through them from Horek. He almost committed towards that one. Now Inozi, the last man alive, he's going to go for the revive and the commit. They pulled off the fake play towards the outside area. Double kill for Inozi. That's opened this map completely up. Left in the hands of Horek to try and deny.
Yeah, but Tony, him and Johannes right now, they've got to do a heck of a lot of work between them. Spawns are coming in, and that's good.
He's round the back as well on the flank, finds Inozi. That is the bomb down and loose, but there is backup. You noted it, and Hexus knows as well. He's felt the brunt of it as Leisure are breaking through here. Kill after kill. It's now into the hands of Sheikah. He has to be the man to stop this one where it started. Inozi's getting the plant in, and this is going to be a tough retake.
Absolutely. Mayak is a long way away. He's still being left outside, so he's not a factor right now. And so much control over this part of the map for Leisure. I don't know what's going on with Epsilon here. They've sort of taken their foot off the gas in the last few minutes here. Horek will fall there to Inozi now as he just has full control of that balcony. There is one player towards the bomb. I think it is Jika, but he isn't ready to go for it yet.
No, Jika trying to clear out the area, but he's done so very well. However, we're going to see Leisure playing the stairwell. Now, this is a very common spot if you throw your mind back in the day, but see if Alex can make anything of this. He does have the AK. He's going to be pushed, though. Horek just going to be running into those sites, and it looks like the defuse will be coming in. Mayak is above, watching ever vigilantly. Bomb is defused, but can Leisure recover?
Banshee getting it done with the law again, and there's still a lot of presence for Leisure right here around this bomb. Banshee and Johannes doing good work now down to Hexus and Mayak. Hunter and Horek spawning in, luckily, very clemently, of course, for Epsilon to have those players where they need them now as Hunter goes straight in towards Johannes, picks him up now still. Oh my god, there it is. That's the wipe we were looking for. Leisure get completely squad wiped now for spawning all the way back here, and this is a chance. This A side is right for the taking now. Epsilon have done good groundwork by going for C first, and this is the low-hanging fruit, as it were, and Epsilon already want to set up here. This could get messy.
Yeah, it certainly could. Let's see where they split towards. It seems as though one player down the side corridor, that's going to be meeting Horek. Horek will get will get destroyed, really, and it looks like Epsilon slowed down. They saw where these guys had made it to, and they're like, okay, let's try and work out our route here. Let's not get flanked on the backside, because you can see Inozi is desperately looking for it. He's going to try and find these guys and send them back, make them play cautious, kind of keep them in tow. Mayak looking for the response, not going to find it too easily, and this is very much a stalemate here. They're going to break through on that side flank, which means that Horek does have a chance at maybe doing some work, pulling players away from that main crossfire.
That's right. It's going to be smoke coming out for him now as well, so he's just trying to sow the seeds of discord and confusion As Hetty sees it all come up in front of him, he's expecting a push. Look at all the grenades being thrown in there. Yet another smoke as well. So trying to sell a bit of a fake here.
Are they going for this? Yeah, they are. It looks like Mek's going to go for this one as much as he can. He's got a great little spot here, peeking up and above. Hex is going to be executing at the same time. They're going to be trying the distraction plays. Bomb is coming in. They're going right under their noses. It's going to be Heta still alive and Phallic still alive. Can they stop this? No. The bomb is down. The kills are coming in. And Epsilon taking advantage. Wow, perfect stuff from them. Already pushing forward, already looking for more and denying any dominance. Only a couple of seconds left on that clock, but it looks as though Epsilon have done almost enough.
Yeah, I'd say so. Look at this aggressive positioning as well. Hexus has got himself in a central room that really sees too much use here, so he can work out from there, but Horik is going to try and hold this doorway. Just hold them back. Oh, better yet, get the kill.
Brilliant stuff from them, and this is going to be almost the squad wipe. I believe it is. There's the squad wipe, and sadly for Leisure, that has just been a real dismantle of presence. Epsilon looking dominant after those first couple of minutes.
Absolutely, that will be it. That's half-time coming up there. 2 MCOMs in the name of Epsilon, so this is great. They've set themselves up for a very strong second half. I was getting a bit dim on them. I was saying they sort of let themselves go a bit. Last couple of minutes, they put their foot off the gas, but again, another burst of vitality from them, and they secure that detonation.
Yeah, just to clarify, Meg, they're 14-5. Hex is 14-10. Hunter 14-13. These guys were playing real hard. You know, they played a really big game on the other side. Top fragger for the server was Inozi. We saw him several times being in the right spot at the right time, playing well on that stairwell as well, utilizing that higher ground. But still, Epsilon, the pacing was perfect from them in my eyes. They always, played it correctly and, never really fell for too much. There was one moment where Leisure faked the outside play. I think they put Inozi out there with the bomb. I think Johannes had joined him, kind of faked it out a little, drew 2 players from Epsilon away. Then they made the play towards the US side as such, but it didn't seem to matter. Already Epsilon had recovered, got the bomb back, and then played it themselves. So good play overall coming out from Epsilon, recovering when required. And got to say, Leisure looked good at the start. They were looking very even. But then just kind of these small moments, Epsilon just really started to take it ahead. And
I'm liking that a lot about Leisure. I am enjoying them. I mean, to be honest, they kind of dark horse at our last finals at Gamescom. They weren't big. They didn't feature strongly at all, really, in our cups. Maybe made some semis, maybe. But group stages were excellent for them, and they showed up and they did good work. This is a different team now as well. As you said, Inosi last game was excellent. It was very much him and Mayek on either side of this thing, just really trying to drag their teams kicking and screaming through the round. But now, of course, it's our second half coming up here in our semi-final, and Epsilon, well, it's right for the taking for them. 2 MCOMs to their name. One more will seal the victory.
Yeah, and I would say personally they're looking ready for it. I'm not too sure if they can kind of convert it on this half, but just individually, they're starting to warm up, which is a dangerous thing. And they look so well-rounded as a collective. I think they're probably the most well-rounded side I've seen thus far in this game. And of course, I'm still kind of getting used to things again. I haven't casted Battlefield in a while. And actually, it's quite, the main Battlefield account on Twitter did tweet us out as well. Nice guys.
Thanks, guys.
Hopefully, any of you guys coming off the back of that is enjoying the show. So thank you, everyone who's tuned in, by the way. We do appreciate all of you. I know, this season has been quite long so far. We're getting through it, certainly. We're almost getting towards those kind of group stage qualifiers. But it's been a pleasure. I've certainly enjoyed watching it, but now getting to cast again has been outstanding. And yeah, thank you to everyone in Twitch chat for chilling out with us. Do make sure you tweet this link out, though, just before those finals, because it's going to be a cracker. It looks as though Epsilon's en route. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Leisure can put up a little more of a fight in this half, because they've had a little bit of fuel to the fire now. But still, do make sure you promote this out there. I know the Battlefield community is incredibly cool. I've always enjoyed talking with you guys and kind of learning the real nuances, because the community is so dedicated in this. A hardcore Battlefield player can still even understand the very nuanced things in esports, which is a rare crossover. So it's always really, really good fun talking to you guys. So yeah, it's good to be back. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it out there in the beautiful world of Twitch chat and Kappa Land.
Kappa Land. Well, it's actually Ming Li Land. I think there's a takeover occurring.
Ming Li is the one. So if you haven't done it yet, there was a player called Chris and Rio Mead who now works with Twitch. He was a good old COD4 player friend of myself, and I think the one and only Mitch Uber Leslie did know of him back in the days.
Oh yeah, I cast him a couple of times.
Exactly,
I did some EU stuff. Yeah.
So do hit up Ming Li in chat. One word. M capital L capital. Give us a little spam of that. Take a screenshot and tweet it to me. I will be very, very impressed as we look through the beauty of Operation Locker.
Yeah, I do like to just...
It's getting steamy.
Yeah, it's getting real steamy up in here, guys. I do love to, do a drive around the map. A lot of these have, as you said, you talked about the Megalodon, of course.
Yeah, I love
Parasol Storm.
I love Easter eggs. This game is so good for it. I'm trying to remember which map as well had, I think it was like the Yeti noise almost, or something along those lines, or the Yeti footprints. And then there was the Jurassic Park kind of throwback. I think it was actually a T-Rex sound, because there was, in, oh, God, I can't remember it. There was the little goat that was put on a tray in one of the films, and it was kind of like eaten in Jurassic Park. I don't know how to describe it. I think it was a goat anyway. This is a lot of things and ifs and buts, but still, on one of the maps just outside of regular grounds, you could see it, and then you could activate the noise if you press the right buttons. So yeah, I love Easter eggs. I'm a real sucker for Easter eggs. You put them in a map, I'll spend hours doing it. I used to be so proud of my stats. I was in like the top 50 in Germany, I think, for accuracy at some point when I started to play this game. And then I went hunting for Easter eggs, so I was like shooting all this random stuff and like hoping it'd activate. Suddenly I wasn't so good. So yeah, thanks Battlefield for that one. But no, I love all the Easter eggs. And the Phantom Bow, I think it is. Whew, sexy.
So we're not too far from being into this one now. As
I'll call back my fangirlism.
This is it. It's his TIL moments for me right now. Yeah, it's funny. When it comes to Battlefield as well, I love the multiplayer aspect, but I always got so deep into the single player as well.
There was some really good. What was the song? There was one like Total Eclipse of the Heart when you're like driving around in the car and have a little T-Rex stuff in there. There's so many little Easter eggs. I absolutely loved it. I think it was one of the most fun ones to play. It was certainly enjoyable. I love the humor within the game. Anyway, our slightly nerdy enjoyment aside, it will be Leisure kicking things off. They'll be starting up on the Russian side, and against them, the US team is Epsilon. We are live into this one. It's the second half of the second map, and Epsilon are in the lead, but let's see if Leisure can do something about that.
Well, I mean, a lot depends on, I guess, how this first few engages go. Teams always debate and think about how do we split our resources between outside and inside, who goes up, who goes down. There's a lot of things to be considering here as well. A lot of teams sometimes just shovel 4 players out here into the middle and just try and burst through the enemy team. If you're on the underside, there's not much you can do to help.
This is dangerous, though. Even though Epsilon just lost Mayek on the outside, they're going to see there are 2 players there. They could focus a push. And look at this. Leisure playing very passive. They're saying, hey, take that central room. We'll play a retake.
They are set up here towards the northern side. You can see Inosi and Johannes working towards this one. Inosi does have the engineer kit here as well. And look at that. Takes down Horik as well. We'll go for a second. Hexus is there. They're going to try and trade into this one 2v1, but Johannes is going to fluff his lines a little bit, and he does get the kill at least, but Hexus is there to reinforce. And now the bomb can ascend at least up towards that window or even outside if it were required. And yes, Epsilon putting their forces out wide.
Wow, they've actually committed to this as well. 4 players there now. They're leaving just Yika in the middle as their kind of linchpin player, putting everyone out here. The reinforcements for Leisure are prime, though. They've got players outside. The Lord does come flying in, but doesn't connect. Johannes wildly spraying into it. He's not going to have much luck either. This is going to be a tough one to break through, though, for Epsilon.
We can see shots now coming over towards Johannes, who's just trying to keep himself alive up at the helipad. It's not an easy shot to hit. Even Inosi is coming forward here, so Epsilon want to make their way in, and Felix, well, he's going to have to oblige. He's going to have no choice there. He's benching, tries to get the revive on him, but he will also go down as well. And Epsilon are spending a lot on this. They are investing a lot of resources, but they have broken through. Inosi now trying to get some shots from the rear. He sees his teammates.
Hunter has to run here. He's tried to take cover, but now that's going to allow reinforcements for Leisure to come in. Inosi is still hungry for this one. You can see that Lord coming out. It's going to find one, but it's not the bomb carrier. There we go.
Very nice.
Finally, they get the pickup. They had to run off the back of that. Now the bomb is theirs for the taking. That was big play from Inosi. Again, this man, we've been hyping him up because he's been playing well. Look at his score. 7-2 already. And bear in mind, Felix and Heta have yet to get a kill. Yeah, that was 3 kills for him in that short space of time. I mean, Hunter was kind of caught with his pants down because he had the defibrillator pads out there as well. And I don't know what happened to Horik. He went down in the periphery somewhere as well. So Inosi has been able to gain so much ground here for Leisure, and they're going to make their way towards this C side. It will be Mike sitting back trying to ascend to a vantage point here as well with the Ace-23. Hope to connect a few shots here. But already there's some pre-fire towards me. Does manage to take down Inosi. That'll take the wind out of the sails for Leisure here for at least a moment as Epsilon getting their players outside and on towards their bomb location. Yeah, indeed. And you can see Mayek just keeping those spots going, and really that crossfire was a little too strong. That'll be Epsilon picking the bomb back up, but already Johannes and Valix can maybe challenge here on the cross if they fancy it, or will they fall back? Leisure needs to be smart about this. They need to put their resources in the right place. Otherwise, Epsilon will go walking in towards Site A, and it looks like they're going to do just that. This is a real worry. Where are those players? Okay, they're at the back. They're at the northwest side of things. So Heta, Inosi, Banshing, all there. They're going to send Horik forward. He's going to be the point man here for Epsilon. Try and get in from that cold towards the the main, the main side. It's very hard to shoot inwards from the cold. That's why the defenders always had the advantage. You get that lockout on the C point in the previous game mode by the helipad, and it's a very tough one to break into. So Leisure going to keep them in that sort of aspect.
Oh, benching, almost luring his teammates there as well. I think it was Horik that was just sort of tucked around the corner. He's going to get taken down. The bomb is going to be held back here as G-Kick is going to get completely steamrolled, and Hunter is the last man in his squad. He gets taken down as well. Epsilon completely getting disintegrated now in those last few seconds, and Leisure can push forward. They are a long way away, and they are on the outside as well, so it's not exactly a direct route. They're going to now head inside and shrug off some of that snow. And you can see Felix has already set himself in a forward position to start to make things ready for a potential plant.
Yeah, he's getting ahead of the things here. I like this play, actually, getting people set up very early, and Nosy and Felix well ahead of the curve. This should be a comfy plant, actually. No one there to instantaneously challenge. Hunter's not far, but Bomb's going down here. Banshing going to put that one into place, and this could be a very tough retake for Epsilon, and I think they know that.
Banshing having done so much work in recent times as well, and Osi is 9-4 right now as well. Got to give that man some credit. But there's Hunter and Hexus. Just start grinding it out, getting the job done. Hunter goes down for a second as well, and only benching ahead to your left. It will be a quick defuse here.
How do they even retake that? But Heta is the only one who could have done something, but not going to find it. That was close though, but certainly no cigar. Heta going to get the reinforcements coming in, but Anozi's going to be the one to have to do the damage. He does get one, but backs away early. Makes it out alive, gets the slow regen of HP going, but at this point he should go down here. He's just playing, he's just going wild right now. Hunter's even going to be forced back to find him. They do pick him up, but that was a lot of time bought.
All right, so now two players already pushing forward for Epsilon. They're not waiting for the back three here, so they've got to play this a little bit slower. They can't just throw themselves into the midst here, otherwise this will be turned around on them very quickly. And you can see now already, Hexa's heading back towards the middle. Jika wants to position themselves forward, maybe almost fake that the rest of Epsilon are more forward than they actually are. Maybe they can do something with that, and they work through the tunnels here.
The crossfire is going to be primed by Leisure. They shouldn't lose this, but they are. Horek's broken in somehow, and this is just unreal. How the hell are they doing this? It is turned into the complete bloodbath, but the bomb has been dropped. It's been recovered by Leisure, and back and forth we go. Mayek is holding that cross desperately. He knows that bomb is en route. It's just down below, though. He's lost out on this. Banshing
is persistent with the engineer class as well here, hoping to get good use out of these close quarters and the splash damage coming from those rockets.
Yep.
And so far, so good. But Mayak, all the way back here as well. He might actually just try and work his way towards middle. Felix is going to be there and actually does take down Mayak. It is a 1-for-1 here. But Epsilon playing with one back player as the bomb got dropped. They are almost squad wiped, though. This is very, very dangerous. Epsilon, again, getting a little bit ahead of themselves. Their positioning hasn't been great. Now they've got two players to work in from the wrong side. And Johannes will get pushed through, at least. But now Leisure, well, everyone's on the wrong side here, as most of those Epsilon players are spawning back in.
Time and time again, Epsilon shouldn't be able to work their way back into this, but they've been getting great shots off. Already Horek finding Banshing is certainly, starting that one building, but this is a tough retake. Three players split towards the northern side of that corridor. Going to be led up by Hexus and Mayek. Looking for that route. You can see that Law coming out, just kind of baiting that shot. And we are seeing the push coming through from the southern side as well. Epsilon committing towards this, being met by a real force from Leisure. Banshing going to find Hunter. This is not ideal. Down to two players, and we did see the reinforcement of Horek, but right now, we are going to see that bomb surely going off. Sheikah's going to commit for it. He is defusing. He gets the kill, but he'd have to go wild right now. It's too little too late, as Leisure get the first one on the board in the second half.
Epsilon, very quiet start to this half. Very slow one as well here. It's been very back and forth, but getting wiped like that as well, and then sort of being forced so far back, it says a lot about how good Leisure, how well Leisure are playing right now. English is good.
Inglando ist hard.
Yeah.
But no, it is a fair point. Epsilon, I think, are playing a little lax. Personally, they seem to have okay, we've got the advantage here. We just need to kind of close, and you can see that. You can see the difference in the first and the second half. That's no discredit to Leisure. I think they are playing very well, but it's going to be very tough for them to maintain overall. Johannes is back alive, though, in this control room, and kind of set up a nice little crossfire, proning down, making it harder work, but so many players dedicated towards this one spot. It's a little bit overwhelming. Going to push out here, pick up a bomb, and actually almost get a full kill himself. What on earth is going on here?
I don't know, man. I really don't know. Epsilon have just sort of gone off the radar a little bit here, and not in a good way. Mike's just trying to hold back this push in. He does get one. He does find a second as well. Great headshot as well. And he finds the third. Thanks for coming. The G18 does get the job done on towards Inosi. It's just Banshing now left, and he's not far from death either. Epsilon get their wipe. And now they can make their way back and hopefully put something together here. The A side is still, well, easy pickings essentially. The bomb will be a little bit slow, but if Epsilon can establish themselves here, they will be fine to get a plant.
And that's all they need. That's all they want to do. And they know they can now. They're not working in from the cold. They have the advantage of this spot, so no one wants to push out their way. Mech's just going to detonate that. But everyone else is pouring back in. He can get around the backside here if he plays this well. Heta's pushed a little too far forward. He's going to turn. He knows there's someone possibly here, so he's going to play it right. But while we say all this, the bomb is yet to commit in towards it. They want to get the kills first. Epsilon are starting to play this a little more stoically, let's say, kind of slow things down a touch here. Hex is still looking for an opportunity, and it is going to be him to find it. There we go. Getting things rolling now. Bomb might be considered to go for the plant, but there's still two players there. Heta is one of them. Great little pickup towards Hunter, going to deny the easy chance, but the bomb's on the run. It's not going to be planting A. They've gone on headed towards B. Really nice bait and switch, but from the infirmary room, the challenge comes in. One man goes down. That was Phalix, who had the instantaneous shot towards the side.
Benching getting it done as well. Hetty combining nicely. Johannes will drop, and Jika getting a double.
Jika.
Nice work from the man. He will eventually be shut down or not. He gets a G18 kill towards Hetty as well. This guy's a freaking beast. He is finally shut down by Inosi, and now it's only 2 players left for either team. But look at this. It's going to be the defuse. There is 1 minute left for Leisure to get an MCOM plant and detonation. There is 1 minute left for them to take this to overtime. Otherwise, with Epsilon's good first half, it'll mean it'll be the victory for them.
This is all on you, Leisure. What can you do? You've been incredible so far, going against the odds. You have to come up big now. 44 seconds. Keep your eyes on that clock. It is the biggest factor to them, and they literally have to build this uphill. Banshing, once again, letting that law fly, but those incendiary grenades burning away, just buying second after second. 30 now left. It's going to be all or nothing. That is a 5-man stack if I've ever seen one. Both sides about to pile in, and so far it looks like Epsilon just playing it well already. The pressure towards the bomb site. They're going for this. Inosi has to be careful. He's got a flank coming in. 15 seconds now, and here we go. It's all down to one man pretty much. He's been picked up. Jika locks him down. The bomb is now in control by Epsilon, and they know they've done enough.
They've just got themselves over the line there. Leisure making a push, and that's got to be frustrating. You can see the players already dropping from server as well. Leisure, every time they get themselves into this position, they're being put up against the top team like Epsilon or Fnatic, and they are getting close, but this time there was no cigar, and it was not close enough.
Down to those last, what, 60 seconds? Maybe less, 30? If they'd maybe won out in some of those trades, we could have seen this going further, and I think that second half was definitely Leisure's game, but just wasn't able to close it out. Epsilon were playing it as if they'd already won, and they got punished until his last few seconds. Mayek turning it with that 3k pickup. Jika doing the same. Some big plays coming out, but in the end, you've got to say Epsilon did win it, but that second half was certainly looking like Leisure were there for the fight.
And that's maybe some worrying signs for Epsilon now. Getting a bit lax, as you put it in your own words, before the final here. This would be their 4th cup in a row. This would be the first time in quite some time that Fnatic actually haven't won at least 4 out of 5 cups in a season here. So
yeah, so that's a big difference. That's a big difference. Epsilon, though, I think you're starting to see the mentality that we kind of chalked up that we saw towards the end of Fnatic's reign of dominance, that they did lose a little bit of that focus sometimes. They did play a little bit sloppy. They did know that they could always fall back and go that extra mile. And the only team we ever saw them having to play 110% at was dexterity. No one else challenged them like that. So if Epsilon already getting that attitude, it's not the best thing, but they did pull it back in time. They did have the kind of half advantage there. But then when you go into a final, you have to be on point. So we have to see if they're going to be able to kind of rein themselves back in, play that very strong game from the start, because we're almost going to be in the finals now. Well,
that's right. Epsilon, of course, have punched their ticket to the grand final of the Winter Cup number 4, and we will await the result of Penta and Fnatic to see who will be going up against them in the grand final, ladies and gentlemen. The biggest match of the night and probably the week is just around the corner. So hang in there, don't go too far, and we'll be right back with more Battlefield action after the break.